Be not afraid. Be not afraid. Be not afraid. Be not afraid.
Alrighty then, and we're back.
How's it going, brother?
Good. Number 11.
Yep. Number 11.
That's a sacred number.
All numbers are sacred, according to Aristotle
Twin
and
Towers.
Pythagoras. Two of them.
Hmm.
But yeah, we are back to discuss absolutely anything that is on our minds. It is little June,
June with the lampshade.
cone on her head, so that she can't lick her wounds.
Okay, June, you're gonna have to go over somewhere. Pick a spot.
So I guess we can start off strong and address what's on our minds, what's on everyone's mind if you have access to the internet, and that is the absolute conflagration that is our modern world.
Yeah.
You know, and what is that currently? Obviously, we're being hit with different news headlines left, right, and center, and that's a good reason to disconnect from it altogether, because a few centuries ago, none of us would have had access to any of this, but we're all well informed of the fact that, you know, the U.S. is bombing Iran relentlessly. Israel's, you know, very much so a part of that, probably the direct reason for that. You know, it's dragging a lot of other countries into that, you know, conflict, and obviously Russia and Ukraine are at war, so it's slowly resembling a world conflict, and as a result of that, stress is high amongst the world, even amongst those of us who are not directly involved in the conflict yet in a physical level, because the whole world's involved in this in one way or another.
Indirectly, yeah.
So it is a world war in that regard too. We've been in it for a while. We just haven't acknowledged it.
Yeah, it's more in your face more than ever. And there seems like there's a possible off-ramp or a possible, you know, doubling down on the insanity. And yeah, it's just it sucks, man.
Yeah,
It's hard going into like so much bad news all the time, and then seeing on the bigger stage that the people have no capacity to really talk with one another or like meet each other in a place that's fair and courteous. It's like so deceitful and cutthroat, and it's
Yes, deceitful. We're ruled by psychopaths, and they
Yeah.
alienate and divide us amongst one another within the local populations where we are. You know, like I immediately thought of, you know, the U.S., for example, because we're talking about that. But, you know, honestly, I was all for Trump getting in initially, and then he went back on all of his promises and really started to destroy
like every politician.
every politician either. And I was going to relate that directly to our own country where we live, where Mark Carney made a bunch of promises.
Same with Justin Trudeau.
Yeah, and they didn't follow through on any of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like that. And I think everyone actually has, you know, this firm fantasy belief. We all do deep down, because, you know, whatever party we vote for, it's clear at this point that they just don't have your interest at heart. You know, it's as George Carlin said, it's a small club and you're not in it. We're not in it, folks.
Yeah.
We're not in it. And they're in a club, and they're all speaking behind closed doors, and they are firmly in solidarity with one another, and they have a lot of power, or they have the illusion of power over us. You know, think about Wizard of Oz. What was the wizard at the end of the day? Nothing but a skeleton hiding behind shadows in a closet. And what are these guys? They're the same thing, because what are they extracting? They're extracting our labor and the earth's resources that we are in turn giving them through our labor and whatnot, right? And it's this finely tuned machine of empire that we are all just immersed within, you know? And it's cyclical too. Every civilization gets like this.
Yeah, we're riding a weird machine that, you know, we wish we could get off, but it's like almost impossible. And then, yeah, we're kind of, well, like that Chris Hedges was just saying that it's like, he said psychopath, describing these people doing these wars and pushing for more brutality, like in he was talking about the genocide and how it's it's a part of the method, and it's kind of always been that method. It's like a genocidal, psychopathic, unsatiable greed and power and lust that is just so
evil.
Well, it's so not the regular man. It's not your, it's not. No. None of us like identify with it, and yeah, I just really hope we get off the dividing part where we all feel like divided and like identity politic-y kind of thing, and get onto a footing of like recognition of one another as like human brothers and sisters, and part of the ecosystem of life that we want to be a part of. And it's like, we gotta just kind of,
well, it has to be holistic in that regard, right? We all have to be part of a unified system. Yeah. What is that system? It's more than a system. It's humanity. We have to recognize one another as human beings.
Recognize the earth.
And obviously, recognize the earth. And
we're guests here. It's like we're,
well,
short-term visitors to the planet. It's like,
we're like cells, because think about it. Like, if you scratch your arm, a bunch of skin cells die, right? So, but they're quickly replaced, and that's kind of like what humans are. But there are many different types of cells, are there not? There's white blood cells that protect the body from infection, right? And then there's cancer cells that grow, and take all the energy of the body and ultimately end up destroying it. And it's not like the cancer cells are trying to kill, might I add, right? They're not. They're evolving as they're meant to. That's what they're doing. It's just that they're evolving faster than everything else around it, so they're taking up all the energy, and the body can't fight it off quick enough. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and they might be part parasite too, apparently, some of them.
What, the cancer cells?
Yeah. Well, because they're made from an actual parasite that's creating this extra stuff. Yeah. That until you get rid of the parasite, you're not getting rid of the cancer.
Think about it. All these different parasites and viruses are causes of cancer too, right?
That's what I mean.
Yeah. But that's our choice as human beings, right? We can either allow ourselves to be the cancer upon the earth that ultimately destroys it, but I don't think we'll ever destroy the earth. It's not possible. Like, that's just absolute bullshit. We can destroy ourselves and absolutely reset our civilization to the point where we are essentially hunter-gatherers again.
You could ruin a good thing, and our thing is beautiful, this amazing planet, and like...
Yeah, but I think the earth will rejuvenate no matter what.
Yeah, but the point is, like, we gotta look at what's here and be like a part of it, be a part of the beauty instead of part of the insanity and destruction. Mm-hmm. So it's like, just thinking about that idea of our resilience, but also our ability to not be divided and conquered so hard. It's like we got to kind of just... Sounds cheesy, but like unify with like a purpose of, not going down the roads of how we keep being sold these bill of goods that are just ridiculous. Like, it's a ridiculous thing where we're like, oh man, I don't know how in the weeds we want to get into of like the hot topic items. That come up every election where it's like, hey, man, we're missing the bigger picture.
Is going to change until we are, because I think our society's already gone. I think Western civilization has already died, and we're living in the ruins of it, and it started dying a long time ago. And I think ultimately we're going to have to go through some very, very difficult times for it to become something new, because this civilization will not become what it once was. It never will. It has to die. It already has died, but we're just living through the death throes,
It's crumbling.
you know? And then we have to go through a lot of hardship to build something new. And I'm not talking World Economic Forum 2030, build back better. You'll all, you know, we don't want that. We don't want any of that.
We don't want the smart city either.
We don't want
it's
any of
hard
this.
to be.
But that's what they want us to be living in, right?
They want to go there. Yeah.
So, of course, obviously it all has to crumble. They're trying to implement the smart cities. The smart cities are going up everywhere. All the towns that are destroyed by quote unquote natural disasters for some reason already had investment plans to redevelop them into smart cities right afterwards, right? So it's all planned, and everything's going to happen. There's little we can do about that. But once this is all, we're gonna live through it, dude. We're all gonna live through it. There's no doubt about it. We're gonna live through the destruction and resurrection of something entirely different, because when something dies, it can't be the same. It's gone. You know, it's like on a personal level, when we actually overcome our own difficulties, you know, and we're responsible for the absolute tribulations that come as a result of us, you know, bearing our cross, which is taking accountability and taking responsibility for everything that is ours to actually carry forward. After that, you come through and it's something new entirely. It's not the same as it was before.
Yeah. How do you take responsibility though for the actions of
society?
Psychos that don't.
No, you don't.
Have
there's nothing we can
accountability
do
and they
about
don't
that.
have any programmed guilt receptors or something. You know,
Nothing we can do about that. And those are the people in charge of society, and it seems as though that's always
that's
who runs society. Psychopathic people. Those are the people that want power over others.
That's the end of the Chris Hedges video was like, you either obstruct or you surrender. I was like, damn, man, that's. He's like, there's no other way. It's like you surrender to their system, or you
get in the way.
You get in the way of it.
Get in the way of it, or
dig your heels in.
And that's ultimately the thing. And we're obviously not going to comment on that on the internet. You know what I mean?
Well, it's a good.
But that's the reality.
It's good to say no to stuff.
You have to say no. You know, like that's the reality. Yeah. Obviously, like in the future,
just say no.
When there's thought police, when there's the whole shebang. Yeah. Let the system eat itself. It's going to anyways.
Why do you think it's going to get flagged or something if we talk too much about it?
I don't know anymore, man. I think in the next decade, when artificial intelligence and the surveillance state and all that is employed, anything that will be used against you.
So like any controversial view,
content,
will be like
anything
scrubbed.
You know.
Well,
and I'm at the point where I'll stand for what I believe in, no matter what.
Well,
you know,
that's a bold.
They're trying to make us really desperate, and we will always be desperate. But you know, you don't want to live a lie, and I don't want to.
Well, like the title of the podcast, "Be Not Afraid." You gotta be not afraid to stand up and say, "No, man, no, we're not going to go along with it. No, we're not going to go into a digital realm of like."
It's so insane how
super control grid.
Look at how controlled we are, Paul. Look at this. Like we're already huddled into these tiny cities.
Talking about the phones, how it's like we can't let our phone down for half a second.
And
that's
none of us
too much
can.
control.
None of us can, dude.
So it's like a part of the like mass addiction programming, like,
and it distracts us from real fucking life. Well, that's right in front of us.
Yeah, the real tasks at hand. It only furthers the agenda of the divide and conquering when you keep on having your echo chamber slammed in your face. You know? You're like, oh, me.
I was just saying to Paul before we started this, and I'm firmly on the cusp of this, of just deleting all social media indefinitely, because what I claim to use it for, I rarely use any of it actually for. You know what I mean? I like to put out some of the works I have as an artist, and
when we do that on our computers anyways
right?
We
so
don't
it's
need
like
the phone to do it.
There's that, and it just takes up so much time, and then social media, not just like that, but like just content, absorbing all of this useless information that is befuddling our brains, taking up all of our energy. Like, we're not developing at all anymore.
Yeah. Sit down.
To the same extent as like human beings that actually spent their days mastering whatever it is that they were meant to master.
Oh, puppy dog. You're meant to master your own
Self.
Yeah, master your reactionary self and hopefully master your healing modality.
Yeah, master you, June.
Should I master her upstairs?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be right back. Go upstairs.
And that's what it is. Like, in order to discover oneself, you have to go deep, deep into the cave that is our internal world to discover that light, that soul. Outside of ourselves, we're so fragmented into all these different possibilities that we're absorbing from the outside world. This is what I could be. This is what I should be, and whatnot. And none of that's actually real, and it's not who we genuinely are whatsoever. Yet we're trying to keep up with an illusion that exists outside of ourselves. And it's all created in the name of this society, this toxic society that honestly is programmed. It's not authentic whatsoever. There's only generic possibilities that are put out there en masse for our collective consciousness to absorb from a young age. You know?
It's kind of like how you build your foundation. You build your foundation somewhere positive, good, but you look at the culture and where it's built on homicidal, genocidal craziness
and conformity.
That this is what we've become with that, and this is like the expression of that. So we look at that bigger picture and be it. Now we have a choice.
Yeah,
and everybody has the same choice. It's like how we, conform to that same idea and keep going forward on that same, whatchamacall, when you're doing the same
hamster wheel, bro.
Well, yeah, but you're doing the same expression and getting the same result and wanting something different.
Yeah, it's insanity doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And
we want to get off that hamster wheel and get onto something different. And it's important that we, just find within ourselves our own empowerment to make some of these changes where we're like not, I guess, being groomed any longer, groomed into the same story where it's like, we know where the story's going and we don't like it. So then what do? You have to create basically a new narrative and find people that are going to say, yeah, man, anything is better than where we keep heading in towards this another massive battle to, where here's the other thing. It's like, I keep on seeing more of these dudes saying, okay, yeah, you're pro this or pro that. It's like, you go and sacrifice with your kids. How about that? Then they won't, because they don't have any courage whatsoever.
But that's also why they want robotics to take place in the future and to also just police us in turn. Because what are wars typically used for, especially in the decline of empire and whatnot? They're to throw the strong young men to the meat grinder so that they don't revolt at home.
Yeah, because they ruin their economies over and over and over
again, and people get sick of it.
They overextend, and then everybody ends up have less and less capability to make a good life because your money's not worth anything. And then you're like, what the fuck is the point of this? And then they're like, we ruined it again.
Yeah, so they take out all the young men, strong men who are critical thinkers by throwing them into a meat grinder known as war, as they've always done throughout time. And the only difference is nowadays, rather than using mercenaries and foreign people to keep them, the local indigenous populations of countries at hold, which is probably why they've imported so many immigrants. I hate to say it, and I'm not trying to be rude when I say that either, but a lot of people, particularly military-aged men from other countries who have no ties to that culture and whatnot, why are they being brought in and employed, quite frankly, far more than the indigenous populations of those countries? in policing and other capacities like that. Well, it's for the future. If shit hits the fan, these guys will have no qualms with subduing the local population. They won't. And furthermore, on top of that too, even beyond that, using artificial intelligence and robotics, that's why they want to unlock this, because that has no humanity, no empathy whatsoever. That's far beyond even a foreign human being. There's nothing there. That'll keep you in place, no problem. That'll keep us in place, no problem. You know?
Well, and you're locked into the grid of the digital money, the digital footprint, you know, it's like absolutely not the place we want to be, and it's absolutely the place they want us to be. So you can tell how hard they're pushing for that is how hard we need to resist that. It's like the inverse, right? Yeah.
And we end up in the wilderness eating sparrows and blackberries while everyone is eating Soylent Green and fake broccoli.
Yeah, lab-grown meat.
Hopefully, well, you know, I'm not saying hopefully, actually. I think there is a schism. There's a split. Society will fragment, and those of a similar mindset will always come together. That's where we're heading. Because this society, it's all we haven't seen it yet because everyone's still in the rat race to an extent, to a very slight extent. But I believe over the next decade,
the pressure cooker is mounting, though.
It is, and we'll all notice it fairly soon. And that's why you see RCMP reports of civil unrest coming to Canada and then preparing for it. That's also why they're bringing in so many new police agents and all these new technologies and whatnot, because the state's crumbling from within.
It's like the ICE agent thing that it's like, get ready to see us taking out our own population, because that's what we're going to have to do to keep control, keep the lid on it.
That's what they're doing in America already.
That's going to be tough.
Yeah.
That will be tough.
And the answer to all of this ultimately is to disconnect altogether, man. Altogether. And get prepared.
And, well, disconnect and connect. Connect with
human beings.
Connect with yourself. Connect with your spirit. Connect with God. And increase those positive connections. And, like, oh, man, just thinking about Kyle and thinking about the people that, you know, we have friends and stuff that need help, that need some encouragement, that need...
A lot of people do.
Need
nowadays.
Friends, need good people in their lives. So it's like we got to reach out and make sure that we're like holding each other's hands, caring for one another the way we wanted, like actually have this purpose with life that's not like what the psychopaths do, that we're different because we care, and that we're like have like compassion and have a generous like part of us that wants to give to others, you know? You want to lift people out of the mud, man. You don't want them to sink.
No.
You know what I mean?
You particularly don't want to watch them in the quicksand.
Well, yeah, you don't want to watch them and be like, oh, man, there they are. It's like we can do stuff and help. So we need to be, like, creative.
And more loving. Like, we need more love in this world than ever before. I think as a result of technology and just the fads of culture nowadays really breeds narcissism and sociopathy far more evidently en masse than we've ever witnessed in society before. You know, I was at the doctor's office earlier. I'm 29, man. There was 6 people in there. Everyone was older than me, and everyone was fucking glued to their phone the whole time. People didn't look at each other. You walk the streets, people don't look at each other in the eye. No one says hi anymore. You're considered odd for saying hi. You know, you see online, like, young people are no longer engaged in relationships as they once were. Not just romantically, socially. Everyone's fucking lonely. You wonder why? Because we're offsourcing actual connection to disconnection. That's what it is, man. You can't talk to artificial intelligence. That's not... all that is machine learning, sorting through algorithms throughout everything that's ever been utilized on the internet and offering you a perfectly framed answer. There's nothing behind that. Okay? You can't fucking watch porn and think that you're getting something. There's nothing there. Okay? You can't fucking all of this like you won't find anything you're looking for on the fucking internet. Okay? You know, you're doing any of that, you're lost. And you got to realize that too. That's the only way you can be found. You got to disconnect from all that shit, you know? And women too, obviously. Like, stop going on OnlyFans, homegirl. You know? Stop selling your body. And young man too, stop watching that. You know?
Yeah.
Go touch some fucking grass, dude.
I thought you were saying, go touch some ass.
Yes, yes.
There's real ass out there. No,
Yeah.
I'm just joking.
Yeah. And you know, I don't blame anyone for any of this. It's psychopaths that create these technologies and then distribute them for popularity and entertainment en masse. And we are easily programmed as human beings. You studied psychology.
The idea of objectifying.
Yeah.
You're like, I'll objectify myself.
Don't do that. Don't do that, man. You're all so beautiful. We're all so fantastic. Human beings are like we're the apex of creation.
When you put the
endless possibility.
You put the biggest emphasis on money, and then it's like that becomes the driving factor. It's like Brett Weinstein kept on talking about the perverse incentives of like pharma and like during the pandemic. It's like, yeah, man. When all the perverse incentives are driving you towards a particular thing, all the outcomes are going to align with that.
Yes. So
it's like we need to flip some of those switches where the like incentives are like, what? What are the other incentives? It's like you're like, oh, you could be whole and like have good relationships. Yeah.
That's what you want in this world. To be whole.
Wholesome. How do you sell that? How do you market that?
Wholesome, whole foods, whole people, whole souls, whole minds.
Whole soully fans.
No.
You just sell. No, you want to get off the phone.
No, there's no selling, man.
I know, but that's the thing. Everybody's got the compulsion to be like, how do you make a buck and turn a profit, man?
It's getting out of this and going in here. We all need to do that more than ever before. The only revolution we're ever gonna, the only revolution we're ever gonna have is one of evolution internally within oneself. That is the only way we can radically change as a people. And we have to go through hard times in order to do that as well. And this won't happen until everyone realizes that. And it'll eat most people. And I'm not saying that like, oh, like it could eat me, it could eat you. It's the beast. The difficult transition. You know what I mean?
You have to be ready, or you have to be kind of like... You have to be primed for the battle in a way, you know? And that the reality is that there is like these big ticket hardships that are going to be coming down the pike, and that how we deal and like configure a path to like go through it. It's tough though, but if you're constantly worried about economic stuff, you know, so that's a part of the script where we want to like...
Most of us, we think about money like 50% of the time. And what's the money actually fucking doing? You know, it's like, well, you don't know what it's like if you can't even eat a fucking cracker and can't pay your rent. It's like, well, if you're only able to eat a cracker and pay your fucking rent, like where are you? Where are we? You know? What, is everyone fucking like... This society is such an absolute failure. Meanwhile, the politicians give themselves more raises. Like, you know, all this shit. Like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. None of us. What are we even doing here, man? You know what I mean?
That's annoying that the bad people always get big raises. More.
And it's an inside club, and we're not in it, right? I understand the stress of money. I get it. You know, but money, you know, it's particularly if you have a family. Like, I don't have any stress about money because I'm a single fucking dude, young dude, who goes out and fucking is able to make a buck. But
yeah, everybody else has a massive stress about money.
If you had like 4 kids and a wife and a mortgage payment and all these different things, I get it. That's all you're thinking about at that point. That's all that's on your mind.
Yeah. I started to wonder more about like the bartering system and the trading. That if we got more outside the box with that, where we could do a lot more as like people in your local environment to just kind of
What would anyone?
surpass.
No one in the inner cities would even have anything to barter with,
Well, you don't know until people start doing it, and
unless
they're like,
it's
"Oh,
skills and whatnot. But
well,
like,
just anything that you're like, oh, I'm gonna need more of that, or another thing like this, blah blah blah. Somebody's probably got it where it's sitting around, they're not using it.
yeah, but all people need is food, water, and shelter. At the end of the day,
Yeah, but people like other items, and it's like people like to create other items. So it's like just more bartering and trading would be like at least a step in the right direction. We're kind of doing it with some of the stuff, but I'm just trying to think of like other things that
bartering and trading, like you can do that in the country.
It's got to go into like the food system too, clean food.
Well, that's the thing. Like, the only reason cities exist is because civilization started out in villages, like farming community, like peasants and whatnot, and then eventually they consolidated into larger states that had armies, and they were like, oh, we have armies now, we have artisans, we have merchants, we have mass production that can all occur in the city, and we'll just continue to draw from the villages. The villages will send all their goods and
Taxing
whatnot.
the peasants and blah, blah, blah.
That's all society is based on, if you think about
I
it.
know,
It's
there's
taxing
always-
poor people.
There was always a ruling
Taking
class ruining it for
bandits,
everybody.
man. Always, bro. And we know that in Canada because, like, look at how much you get taxed and look what you get out of it. And, like...
Yeah, Carney's 30-30 thing that he just announced too. Did you hear about that?
What is that? He's like...
They want to have at least 30% of the land in Canada be the government's.
Yeah,
It's
he's like, you
oh,
guys...
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, no, fuck off.
They should have 0% of the land. That's what they should have.
Well, the government is literally just the people. And the thing we...
Oh, it's like a
the
runaway train that's not the people.
We live in
It's a
dictatorships
fucking-
now
It's a
because-
crazy corporation.
Oh, it is, yeah. And people are just like, well, what can you do about it? It's like, I don't know. Maybe completely disconnect from it. That's not even possible. Like, the thing is, we live in dictatorships
We
because,
got to
like,
find another way to organize making our roads and having our healthcare. And then what other parts do we need our governments for? Considering how much they ruin for everybody.
there's so many of us on this planet, bro. We always need to come together more than anything for defense, to defend against other peoples.
Yeah, I know, but everybody's in the same boat worldwide. All their governments are little dictatorships that are primed to do the wrong thing. And, maybe there's a couple that are better than the other ones, but
Yeah, like China.
better at doing.
China and America are shining examples.
I don't know about China, man. China's like an unknown because we don't really know
That's what I'm
and
saying.
understand how
Same
they
thing with America.
function with their governments and stuff. Except, Xi Jinping isn't like tweeting how narcissistic he is every 2 seconds.
Yeah,
Where America is putting it right on their sleeve, like, hey, we're totally out to lunch.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, so
It honestly makes me think about my own psyche because, as I said earlier, and I think this is actually something we all need to consider, like or not even my own psyche. I think like the desperation that we have for change, any kind of bloody change, mate, that could put us in a positive direction. Like, we're so desperate for that we want to believe anyone. We want to believe anyone. Like, that's how Americans felt. That's how everyone felt when Trump was voted in, because it's like the Democrats, whatever that represented, it seemed like a very nefarious force for the U.S., They were funding their own fucking demise. They were letting entire cities be burnt to the ground by their own people, and they were allowing NGOs like George Soros and all that to fund that, But then, and people are so desperate after something like that they elect Trump. And I was like, yeah, great, he got in. It was if America fell, we fall. But now we see the state of that, right?
yeah, you're desperate for a change, and then there's no other option except a bad change. It's the same
And the
thing.
change, these guys are all in a club together. Like, it's like the plan's going down no matter what.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the thing.
So, like, us paving roads and farming our own food, like, these people are still firmly in power. What are we going to do about it other than watch it fall apart? Like, I honestly mean that because it is so deep. The Leviathan is so...
It falls apart for everybody else. Carney's not going to have an issue with the falling apart. He's got billions of dollars, So
No, I know, and they all have underground bunkers.
And just whatever, properties in different
Bahamas,
nice places, mansion in New Zealand or whatever, and
so it falls apart for the common people as it always does.
We need that fake alien invasion to happen sooner than later.
For what? What is that gonna do?
Fake alien help us out.
But if it's a fake alien, it's just them with their own hidden technologies. Just psyoping us again. We're psyoped everywhere we look, mate. That's what it feels like.
At least it'll be fun.
Yeah. You know what? As an overthinker...
It might come this year, apparently, too.
As an overthinker, and you could probably relate to this, maybe it's all just mismanagement. None of it's purposeful. That's what some people tell me. Oh, you overthink it.
Yeah, no.
This is all accidental.
Definitely purposeful.
Everyone's only human. No, it's all fucking We're not that stupid.
Dude, they had a think tank pandemic thing before the pandemic happened. So they're obviously...
coronavirus was being made in fucking Winnipeg.
They're into big plans, man. That's what they do.
It was being made in Winnipeg, and it was being funded by the U.S. Fauci. And then when it was discovered by journalists, they sent it down to fucking Wuhan. Then all of a sudden
Wuhan
it breaks out of fucking Wuhan.
Too.
Yeah.
Everybody was working on it.
Yeah,
man.
but then they release it and they're like, oh no, an easily transmissible virus that can kill us all, even though it has a very low kill rate. It's not even as bad as the common flu, but we're going to shut down the world. You're all going to wear masks and take these vaccines that are going to kill you. I mean, save you and make you healthy, not sick. You're all going to be really good.
Very effective. And
you guys got to realize anyone who doesn't take the vaccine is the reason why you're all going to die. Because that's how vaccines work.
Yeah.
No one knows. Fuck. Bro.
Apparently they're doing the RNA in all the pigs now and livestock. So
okay, well, I guess
you're going to get it in you one way. Dude, that's so
frustrating.
One way,
another. I'm going to jab you. I'm going to get you. Yeah, fucking wild, homeboy. This has been an unhinged podcast. I feel like.
Rant the whole way through.
It's been like an emotional roller coaster because that's just the way I feel. And I think it might be the way a lot of people feel.
Let's switch. Let's do the shout outs this time.
Yeah, let's shout out.
First shout out.
Memphis
And Kyle.
Yeah, but Memphis, you're a beauty, man. So much
you,
love
buddy.
to you.
He's walking. They took out his feeding tube today or yesterday.
Yeah, you're a real warrior. Praying for you every day, man.
So Memphis had a brain tumor removed, and he's, I guess, 12 years old, and he's going through the rehab with his dad, Brian, who's my cousin, and Nadia, his mother. And there's a beautiful story of lots of support and community rallying around behind people to, lift them up and support them, and a lot of, financial help, preparing food, praying, doing acts of service, and yeah, it was a beautiful thing through this. Like, even though we're in the dark time, it's like there is the shining lights like that. And yeah, just keep on praying for him to keep on rocking and keep on moving that body around, getting up those stairs and getting around. And yeah, it'll be cool when he comes back to the studio to play and gets going again. Hey, buddy. So shout out to Bri Guy too, my cousin Brian and Nadia.
Yeah.
Yo, guys.
Cheers to you guys.
You're going through it, and we're proud of you, and we love you.
So much love.
Same to you, Kyle. If you see this, homie, we're thinking about you.
Absolutely, Kyle.
And all our friends that are struggling, but Kyle in particular is like the sweetest dude, and it hurts to see him in despair like that, difficult time. And
That's part of the human condition, though. You know, the thing is, it's never, you don't want it to be too high or too low. You got to be able to handle when it comes. You know, when it's too high and too low, it's too
hard though
much.
when
But
it's
that's part of the
been-
human condition.
It's been so low for some people forever.
So
that
long.
It's so hard to get to any facsimile of like feeling right.
And it goes to show you how sick our society is because of how many people feel that fucking way.
Yeah.
It really is a sick society, and that's what people should know too. That people all think that there's something wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with you. There's something wrong with us as a species right now. There's something wrong with our societies. Obviously, you know, we can't feed the homeless. We can't help the sick. We can't, you know, have organic food. We can't educate kids according to their individual needs, but we have all the money for bombs, buddy. Don't you worry about that. We got all the money for the vaccines. We got all the money to support corporations.
Data centers.
Yeah, and data centers to surveil all the populations. So we got all the money
for that.
for the most detrimental things to human beings, and we got all the money for really toxic traits in our society being pushed en masse, like drug addiction. And you know what? I gotta say it. The confusion involving genders and all this shit. All this shit going on in Canada. Instead of allowing people, like helping people, we're pushing this on them, telling them what they are. People need to figure out what they are on their own. And people need help. You know, we're not helping people. And
Yeah,
then
we need less
we're killing
labels.
people who are mentally ill, man. You know, let's face facts. This country is so sick. You know, there's doctors gleefully euthanizing people. What the
Well,
fuck?
it's weird when the marketing is like making it cool.
It's not cool. You're beautiful. Everyone's a human being. You know, you shouldn't suffer. And I get it. Sometimes the suffering is too much. But this is what's wrong. Our society's sick. We're all unwell. You know, we should be there for people, not fucking push them aside and tell them what's really going on. And no disrespect to anyone feeling what you're feeling, going through what you're doing. But like, I think everyone should have a choice to really get to where they truly are in their own hearts rather than just being told what they are or being, you know what I mean? No, this is why you're sick. Yeah, you're right. That's what it is. You know,
Yeah.
oh, you're that unwell. No, you're right. That's what your suicidal ideations are correct. You should be gone.
Looking
You know?
at the symptoms and not the root issues.
And your drug addiction's perfectly okay. Here's some more drugs. No, man, that's not fucking healthy, dude. And shame on everyone who fucking supports all that, profiting from it too. Fucking shame on all of you. You're all sick fucks.
It's not actually helpful too at the end of
No.
the day. Putting a Band-Aid solution to deep-rooted issues and problems.
Yeah. Yeah. That was another little.
That wasn't a little one. That was a big one.
Had to fucking get that off my
I
chest.
touched a lot of hot topic issues on that little rant.
Yeah, I threw a frag grenade.
Hey, if you got any comments about it, put a comment in because, you know, we're just people. We're just talking. You don't have to take anything too seriously. We're just people. And, you know, at the end of the day, we care. It's like we're not trying to
Yeah, I'm not trying to-
make it into anything that it's not.
No.
And, you know, things need to be talked about.
Yeah, instead of just being afraid to talk anymore because we're walking on eggshells in the society because we feel like we can't say what's on our minds anymore for fear of, you know, going to jail and all this different shit. Like we just like that's our society's so sick. You know, it's gonna be like the UK where you can't speak out any longer. You go to jail for that.
Some lady
world's
was
fucked.
in jail for 600 days or some crazy thing for
You know?
misgendering somebody or failing to do it properly. And it's like, dude, look at where we are, man. It's like we're bombing places to smithereens, and then we're putting
Sending
people
our
in
own
prison
people in jail
for
for-
misgendering people.
Hey, your pronoun
We
can be
gotta
whatever
get
you
real.
want.
We gotta get real with like what our pyramid of like issues is to like tackle. You know.
I don't know if that's gonna happen in Canada though. Like this place is so divided. And don't take what I said out of context earlier. I don't really care what your gender is, but I do care if like you're being like euthanized for a mental illness. I do care about that. That's totally wrong. And I do fucking think the drug addiction's terrible and it's so rampant now, and all these different issues. You know, are just so common in our streets now. And
We need to put our heads together more for the healing journey and how to like help ourselves and others better.
yeah, I think
And to avoid getting to the point where it's like desperation, you know?
like the healing journey is only for us individually too, and that's why like our society's so sick. Our society's dead. Canada's dead.
Well, what is Canada?
Yeah, like
does it represent a
anything?
genocidal ideal?
Like what?
Well, you're like, it's dead, but it's like, when was it living and thriving? When it was really
When it was being
sticking it to
built.
everybody?
When it was built.
Yeah, but it was built on the backs of genocide and killing. So they never had a real set out purpose to, oh, we're going to be a land of freedom and goodness.
Yeah, but every society.
It was never that.
In that regard, every society is built on conquering for the most part. There's never been a single society that was not built on conquering and killing. Literally, there's never been name one society that's just like, hey, we're just gonna put up camp. No, everyone. We're a war-born species. We've been at war since the beginning. So then every single society, but we had values. Like we were together. A lot. I don't fucking know.
Some
Actually,
of them must have
I'm an immigrant. Fuck.
Yeah, some of them must have had.
And like, I don't mean that. Like, some people are like pioneers. Your family was like a pioneer. You guys have been around for a long time. I'm second generation. You know what I mean? So I don't know what it was like for Canadians. In fact, I'd rather be back in my homeland. You know, but my homeland got fucking destroyed by a century of world wars. So that's how most people are nowadays. We're all uprooted, bro. We don't have a home. No one has a home anymore. You know?
Well, and a home isn't great if there's always war.
No.
You know, so. Anyways, on that note, we're at the end. We passed the end song, but
yeah,
hope that wasn't too ranty for you.
it probably was, but
Probably was.
next time we'll be more structured. I think we
Yeah.
say that every time.
If there's any topics you want us to touch, it's like, let us know.
Yeah.
Any other shout outs you want to give?
My brother Maxim, he's been going through a lot,
Broski.
health-wise, so praying for you, bro.
Shout out to my bro too, David, Nick, my parents, my mom, going through treatment right now.
Yeah.
Love you, praying for you. My girlfriend, Wabano, Dawa, all the people going in there, getting good community, doing their healing journeys. Keep going, keep your head up, reach out to somebody and say hello.
Praying for all humanity, bro.
Yeah.
All humanity. Love to you all.
All right. Peace, everybody.
Adios.